I have got some ghost stories for you.
I come home from the gym and the chairs are all stacked upside down, like a very intricate stack.
There was a werewolf on our porch swing holding one of our kittens.
The pen was all busted open and there is blood everywhere.
There's like somebody standing in the middle of the bed with their finger pushing straight up on the canopy, like a tent pole. But there's nothing there, and I laid in bed like a little kid. I pulled the covers up over my eyes.
This little boy told paranormal investigators, apparently my grandfather came back from the dead to harass a toddler.
So that is my ghost story.
Hi, Sonja O'Hara. Thank you so much for joining the Haunted AF podcast today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
You don't look creepy at all.
No, I know. What is that about?
I know. I'm like the very earnest, happy-go-lucky Canadian who just makes really dark, messed up movies.
A Canadian that loves murder. I'm down for that.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that you were Canadian.
Yes. No, I'm from a fishing village in Nova Scotia, Canada. I'm known for our creepy lighthouses.
Oh,
So,
dude,
yeah.
do you have a creepy lighthouse movie yet?
I feel like that is the next thing. But right now I've been like doing everything else other than, leaving that to Robert Edgers.
Did you like the lighthouse? So the people were very...
did. I mean, I thought it was insanely creepy. And I just saw The Northman too. So I'm a big fan.
I've always said if you watch The Lighthouse and pretend that it's a dark comedy, you'll like it a lot more.
It's like a buddy comedy,
Yes. I am so wildly impressed. It was really exciting because I got this notice about your new film. It's called MidCentury, starring Bruce Stern, Shane West, Stephen Lang, like all these great people. And it's directed by Sonja O'Hara. And I was like, hell yes, it's directed by a woman. That's
Love
badass.
it.
With these really strong male personalities too.
And they were so cool on set. Like they were the most like welcoming, supportive, like what's your vision? Like everyone kept on deferring to me. Like there was no like toxic masculinity or posturing or any of it. Like everyone was just really excited to like hear what I had to say and to work with me. And people took notes so well. Like I had all this fear going into it and it was such a positive experience, which you do not always have.
So just to give everybody an idea. So the basic premise of MidCentury, your film, it's this couple, Shane West. So they rent this VRBO or it's a rental house and it's this beautiful, famous mid-century modern home.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Which ends up being the site of all kinds of horrible things. It's haunted. There's a lot going on in this house. It's like the house is a character in the film itself.
That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
We wanted the house to sort of have that like heartbeat and feeling that even before we're like doing jump scares or anything, like you just kind of know that something's off. Like the paintings in the beginning, when you go in the house and you see these like deranged, creepy, feminine, like messed up paintings. And it just feels like the house is sort of like swallowing you in or seducing you. And I wanted to really like play with that motif.
And there is something about these older homes, specifically mid-century modern, they're more cramped than you expect them to be. So when you get in and kind of going through those hallways, they're old. So
I own that exact hallway. I'm not even kidding you.
Old, creepy ass houses.
No, they're really weird. Like I just imagined them way more expansive, like you said, and then you get in them and they're a little claustrophobic.
Somebody, I guess the writer that is the one who owns this house?
The writer owns this crazy house. And he was like, well, maybe it's not big enough. Maybe we need to rent another house for the shoot. And I saw it and I was like, no, this house is gorgeous. And weirdly, I grew up being obsessed with mid-century homes and had a picture of the famous Stall house, with all the Hollywood lights.
Yes.
Like that was up on my bedroom wall in Canada as a child for some weird reason, because it represented like the Hollywood dream for me. And now to like make a movie that's entirely in one of these weird houses and shooting the reflections and the weird corridors, it was just so cool.
I did wonder though, so Mike, he wrote the screenplay, right?
And he acted in it, did so much.
And he's like a bad guy in the movie too, right?
And he's nothing like that in real life. Like it's really funny seeing him play such like a super predator creepster on camera.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like we should check Mike's backyard though.
Totally.
You never know. There might be a couple like dark secrets in that man's, if you could write a script like that.
You clearly have had, a fascination with creepy stuff. So, because this is not, this
isn't a one-off for me. Like I'm obsessed with like just slightly like off, dark, like cerebral weirdness. Like that's always been my MO.
So what was your inspiration? Did you have something happen in your past? You got a ghost story for us?
I do. I mean, I've had the interesting, like I've worked as an actor my whole life, and sometimes they just sort of like put you in a haunted house. Like this happens more than you would know, where they're like, yeah, like, this place that we rented, like it may potentially be haunted, but like, it's cool. Like, that's going to be like you're holding and you're like, okay. And I was shooting this movie in Brooklyn a few years ago, and it was super freezing. It was one of those days that like you're standing like in a mound of snow and like your feet are actually freezing as an actor. And I'm playing a pregnant girl, like this giant pregnancy belly. And she's like this Adderall popping character. And they just decided, they were like, okay, if the actors can just stay in the house while the crew, like, I don't know what they were doing, if they were lighting something, but they were out of the house. And I was just wandering around this place. And I don't know if I said it, but it was an abandoned monastery. Yeah. And I went downstairs one day and like I was in the restroom getting hair and makeup and stuff. And I was like alone. And I just heard like footsteps. And I thought maybe the crew had came in and they needed me back to set. And I'm not somebody who, even though I make creepy ass movies, I'm not somebody who's necessarily ever had something paranormal happen. But I ended up hearing just like giggling, like laughing. And I thought like the crew was messing with me. And I was like, guys, like, it's not going to work. And I heard footsteps in the stall next to me. And I swear to God, like I have little nieces and nephews that are like 6 years old. And it sounded just like small children. And I heard some sort of like giggly playfulness. Like it didn't necessarily sound sinister, but I ran the hell out of that bathroom. And there was no one in the house, like no one in the whole monastery. I was alone. So like, I've always wondered like what I heard, like if somebody was pranking me, like no one has owned it, but I legit heard like demonic children laughing.
There's something about just the whole idea of, well, I mean, first of all, like renting a place, you know, rental houses. And don't we all have that your first night there, especially when it's really old?
Yeah.
And you have that what if moment, you know? Yeah. I've had that like laying awake half the damn night because we always end up, we're traveling with teenage girls, my daughters. Yeah. So I'm always like terrified. I'm convinced everybody is a sex trafficker. I'm going to say that out loud. It's true.
That's every documentary I watch. So,
well, you just had a weird influx of the sex trafficking stuff here in Dallas. That sounds so bad, but I can understand. It is true. It's just been bad lately.
Yeah. I literally think that at all times. It's ridiculous, but especially in the VRBOs, because someone else out there has a key to your place. You know?
No. Why would you tell people that?
Yeah. So it's like, you're putting a whole lot of trust. So there's just the basic trust that you're putting out there, the belief that they're not murderous assholes that are going to sneak in and steal your daughters in the middle of the night, or that it's haunted, you know?
Right. And I don't know which is worse, because sometimes I'm like, okay, are you recording me? Like, are you a creepy person who has like a camera above the bed? Or are there like, you know, the spirits of like some undead human in this place that's going to give me the heebie-jeebies all night and watch me? Like either way, I could be watched. Right? That's the fear.
I think I would take the heebie-jeebie ghost as opposed to like a real person watching me at night.
Yeah. We stayed in Georgetown last year in this old place. It was dingy, but it was right on this strip. It was excellent. But for some reason, the bathroom door would lock you in every now and then. And the only way you could get out is someone would have to open the door for you. So your little 2:00 in the morning bathroom breaks, you would get locked, and it would just be the doorknob would just start spinning, which I'm sure it was just broken.
There's like a logical explanation potentially, but still.
Wait, hold on. How fast was it spinning?
No. God. I'm just like,
like this. That's not an accident.
No, not like spinning on its own. Like when you would try to open the door, it wouldn't catch and open for you. So you'd have to like start pounding on the walls, and someone would have to get out of bed and come and get you out of the bathroom.
Just checking.
But I thought about that later. It's like, what the hell was going on in that house? Because after that, the door would work totally fine again, you know? And it seemed to only happen in the middle of the night.
Sounds like you got happening.
No, I was gonna say, what's with everything happening in bathrooms? Like, I feel like it's always like the most like, off-putting place to like be haunted, and yet, like, you know, so many stories in there.
We've gotten so many stories of bathrooms, or like while people are trying to have sex. It's like they're in the most inopportune time for a ghost to like, sneak up on you is when it happens.
Like if it's embarrassing and if you're vulnerable, they will come.
Yes, right.
I would like to do a tour of haunted bathrooms at some point in time. I think that would be really fun.
Sure, I'd be down for that.
Ooh, I love shooting creepy scenes in bathtubs, like the you know, the ones with the claw feet. I a bunch of people in bathtubs in movies. I think that's always really fun.
You've got this wonderful feature movie, MidCentury, so exciting with like big name stars and everything. What's next for Sonja O'Hara?
I just signed on to direct a horror movie in Canada. So it'll be my first movie that I'm going to shoot in my homeland. And for that one, I'm directing and acting in it, which is really
awesome.
Cool. And my show Doomsday that I wrote and directed and starred in was picked up by Shudder. So that's
yay, we love Shudder.
Congratulations.
So exciting.
So that's going to be, so it's a bunch of things all at once, which is really cool.
Well, please do us a favor, stay in touch, keep us posted on what you're up to. Anytime, next time you're in a haunted bathroom and, you know.
I'll call you guys.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
Everything was perfect, just like I imagined.
Please.
I'm afraid we're gonna spoil this dress.
Welcome to your home away from home. This dwelling was built by architect Frederick Banner in 1955.
If I had to be stuck in a house, I could do worse than this.
Do you think he's watching us?
Oh, yeah. I remember reading that Banner was obsessed with the occult.
His wife disappeared under mysterious circumstances. His young son went into foster care.
Eldridge. What's the address of the house?
1960 Marion Lane.
I'm in his actual house.
Hello. I must have gotten the days mixed up.
We have it booked till tomorrow.
I'm Eldridge, the owner.
I think I saw someone in this house.
I'm worried. Just let me know you're okay.
Do you live here?
He used to.
I think I found some human remains.
My father committed multiple murders.
The spirit is able to escape death.
He must have been hard watching Eldridge turn into his father.
Help me put an end to him.